Hey guys, it's Marshall Mathers the fourth here, back to you today with another video. And in today's video, this will be a video today talking about the fact that I suck at driving. And I want to say that I want my driver's license. I really do. And it does embarrass me that at the age of 25 years old, I still don't have my driver's license yet. And I know that I'm not the only 25-year-old guy out there in America, in this country, who probably still doesn't have his driver's license at the age of 25. But I still feel embarrassed about it. I still feel and am humiliated about that fact, because I know that most people end up getting their driver's license when they are teenagers, like literally around, 15, 16, 17 years old. That's like the normal, typical, more like common and popular age to get your driver's license at. And I'm way past any of those ages. I'm in my mid-20s right now, and I still don't have my driver's license yet. And you know what I also feel bad about is the fact that I didn't even really practice driving when I was a teenager myself. I mean, honestly, I did like no driving at all whatsoever. When I was a teenager, I did none. No driver's training as a teenager. And my parents were too busy to even help me get my license at that time period in my life. They were too busy and they were working all the time, and just they were always occupied doing something or preoccupied or whatever. And I had nobody to count on or depend on or go to help me get my driver's license when I was a teenager. And not to mention the fact that I had no money of my own. All throughout my teenage years, I had no money to pay for my own driver's training. And hell, even if I did, I would have still needed someone to drive me to the places that I would need to go in order to take driver's training, like take the road test or whatever. And I didn't have that when I was a teenager. I didn't. And, I haven't really started driving until I was in my 20s. And honestly, I find that embarrassing and humiliating because, again, most people start driving when they're teenagers. In this country of America, the normal, popular, and typical age for someone to start driving at is when they're in their teenage years. But with me, on the other hand, I didn't at all. And so I'm just getting a late start. And even when I drive, I suck balls. I am a horrible, terrible, awful driver. Even though my mom thinks I'm a good driver and even a better driver than she is, but I'm honestly not. I don't know why she keeps saying that, because I don't believe that one bit. And I'll even tell her that. I'll even say that I'm not. I'm much worse than you. I'm terrible. I'm horrible at driving. Every single time that I drive with my permit, I'm just a nervous wreck. I am so stressed out every single time that I'm driving. And, a part of me in my mind is so worried that I'm going to get in a car crash or something. And I mean, the road is very narrow. I mean, when it comes to like the 2 lanes that cars have, I mean, they're so close to each other and they're so narrow. And, I just am so very worried. Even though I don't and never have, I've never even really been close to crashing. I still have that feeling in this inside of my mind that I'm going to crash into someone, even though I don't want to. And obviously I still don't, and thank God I still haven't, but it still doesn't take away from the feeling that I have that, oh shit, I always feel like I'm going to hit either someone in their car or like a railing on the side of the road or something like that. And you know, what's interesting about me is I am more stressed out and more nervous when driving a bigger vehicle than compared to a smaller one. But I don't really have a small vehicle to practice with. And I find it really annoying and repetitive that a lot of guys who come on my channel will tell me like, bro, you should get your CDL. And I'm just like, no. Because I don't want to be a truck driver. That's not my calling. That's not my purpose or meaning in life. And I wouldn't want to be a truck driver anyway because I still suck at driving for the most part. And I'm not used to driving big vehicles like Suburbans, for example. I get so stressed out and nervous driving big vehicles like that size. So if I were driving a semi-truck or something like that, I would be constantly stressed out and nervous. I would never be calm. And you know, anytime that I drive a big vehicle, a van, a Suburban, or whatever, I'm never calm. I'm never relaxed. I'm never at peace. And that's one of the big things that you need to be when taking your road test. You have to be calm. You have to be relaxed. You have to be at peace. You have to be chill. But I'm not. I find it just really impossible, for me at least, personally, to chill the fuck out when I'm driving, when I'm taking a road test. And I'm also more stressed out and nervous when I'm driving any sized vehicle in a really busy place, which I am not used to. Not one bit. And, you know, obviously, if I had been driving since I was a teenager, I obviously do feel like I would have been more comfortable with driving nowadays at this age. I would be more used to it. And I would maybe have been more calm, more relaxed, more chill, more at peace. But the reality is I'm not, because I didn't do that. I didn't practice driving when I was a teenager. Not at all. I never had the time or chance or opportunity to do that when I was a teenager. And even now as an adult, I rarely ever get the chance and opportunity to practice driving. And you know, one thing I've noticed about myself too is I'm also more stressed out and nervous when I'm driving at a faster speed limit. You know, there's sometimes I try to get used to it, and one thing I'll try to do is like take deep breaths, for example. And that helps me out a little bit. But there's still a part of me that's stressed out and nervous when I'm driving at a faster speed, like 50 miles per hour, 55, 60, and up, like 65 or 70. And also when I'm driving a bigger vehicle in size, I'm more stressed out and nervous than compared to driving a smaller vehicle. Like, I want to have a small vehicle if or when I even get a vehicle of my own. And I don't even know if I'm going to, because I certainly don't have the money for that shit, and neither do my parents. And, you know, even a piece of shit vehicle that's used costs at least $1,000. I don't have that kind of money. As a matter of fact, I have never had $1,000. I've never had anywhere close to $1,000, except for that one time my grandma from California gave me $1,000 check in the mail, which was 3 years ago in 2019. Other than that, I've never had $1,000 to spend on anything. And, you know, to be honest, I don't want a piece of shit vehicle for my first vehicle. If I were to even have a vehicle, for one, I would want to pay for it myself. I would not want to depend on my parents or anyone else to help me buy a vehicle, especially knowing that my parents can't. They are poor. With all the other kids that they have and have to provide for, they wouldn't be able to do that. I don't even know if any of my relatives out in California would be willing to do that. I highly doubt it, because I'm not any of my relatives out in California's son. And I've never really been that close with them anyways. So I doubt even they would help me. And so I'm just at a loss. I'm stuck here when it comes to buying my first vehicle. After I get my driver's license, of course, and that's only if I do get it. And I want to get it. Like I said before and earlier in this video, I want to get my driver's license so badly and desperately. And I hope I do. I really hope I pass my road test. And this will be the second time, starting next week, Thursday, that I will have taken my road test, because I attempted to take my road test last year and I failed because I was taking the corners too wide and I wasn't that calm and relaxed. And, you know, I'm not surprised, because after all, where I took my road test was in Grand Rapids, which is a really big, busy city, and I'm not used to that. I'm not, and I never will be. And so I just, I don't know. I just really don't know. I'm sorry, I have something in my throat. I feel like a bug flew in my mouth or some shit. I fucking hate making videos out here in the woods because of these cocksucking faggot-ass bugs that will not leave me the fuck alone and that keep constantly bothering me. It annoys me. Just leave me alone. Do your own thing. But no, of course, bugs keep coming all over me. I'm just so sick of it. I hate it. I wish I could make videos in my parents' house, but I can't. I'm sorry for getting so worked up, but none of you know what it's like, because none of you have to make a video out in the damn woods where there's so many bugs. None of you have to do that. You can make videos in the comfort of your own home, because you have your own home or you have your own apartment, and you don't have to deal with your family members hearing you making a video and being like, what are you talking about? What are you making a video about? It's embarrassing, okay? But anyways, continuing on to this video and doing my best to even make it, even though I have something in my damn throat which is pissing me off. You know, but like I said, I want my driver's license, and I also want my own vehicle after I get my license, of course. But the problem is, I don't have the money to buy my own vehicle, and I most likely never will. I mean, a piece of junk, a piece of shit used vehicle costs at least $1,000, if not even a little bit more than that. And I mean, even that is a lot of money for just the average, ordinary American. That's a lot of money for most of us here in America. And not only that, but, I fucking hate used vehicles. You know why? Because of the fact that used vehicles have so much miles racked up on them, which is just so unbelievable. It just pisses me off. What's even kind of hilarious is when I used to look up used vehicles, I honest to God used to think that when I would see miles, 100,000 miles, 200,000 miles or whatever on a used vehicle that I was looking up online, I would literally think to myself, wow, that's a lot. So that means that this car has that many miles to go on it. But I was wrong. What that means is that some jackass used up that many miles on that damn wretched vehicle already and is selling it. And let's face it, the only time people will sell vehicles for $1,000 or a little bit more, 1,200, 1,400 or whatever, is when they rack up 100,000 plus miles on it, which is fucking bullshit. Seriously. I don't want to get a vehicle that has that many miles racked up on it. No, thank you. And I certainly don't want a vehicle that only costs $1,000 when I know it will be a piece of junk. I mean, literally, there's no question about it. If I'm going to get a vehicle, a used one even, I don't know, I want to pay $5,000 or $5,000 to $10,000 for a used vehicle. But I don't know where the hell I'm going to get that kind of money. I mean, seriously. I don't know how or where I'll get $5,000 or $10,000 to buy my first used vehicle. And I don't know how I'm going to get help to do that either. Because no job will ever pay me enough. I mean, even if I did have a job, I would be making a really small, minuscule, micro, tiny amount of money. And I would never, ever be able to even buy $1,000 used vehicle. Because there's so many other expenses I need to pay for. My own food, for example. And that costs me, I don't know, $200, $300, $400, something like that. And that's a huge chunk of what would be my paycheck, most likely. And if there's stuff that I want, I don't know, movies, TV shows, books, for example. I mean, there's just stuff that I need. It's stuff that I want. And the only person who's going to help me get that stuff that I either need or want is myself and myself alone. That much is clear. And like I said, if I'm going to get my own vehicle, I want to buy it with my very own money. I don't want to count or depend on anyone else to help me with that. And even if I did, nobody's going to help me buy my own vehicle. Nobody. I mean, people won't even help me get even other materialistic things that I need or want. Nobody. Nobody has ever given me the kind of money that I would need to buy anything that I want or need in life. And the only person who's going to help me get that is this guy right here, me, and me alone, by myself. And it's unfortunate, but that's the reality of things. I hate that it is that way, but unfortunately it is. And there's nothing I can do about it. I can't change anyone to be the kind of people that I wish they were. And, like, I want at least like a decent vehicle, even if it's going to be used or pre-owned or whatever vehicle I start out with. I at least, at the very minimum, want it to be a decent vehicle, if that makes any sense, and if any of you can understand that. Because, I mean, what if I want to drive long distances? Or what if I have a job that's like in Grand Rapids or something, for example? Like, I don't want a piece of junk car to drive on the highway or whatever, knowing that it will probably break down or something along the way. Or I probably won't even be able to drive the 70 mile per hour speed limit without my car having troubles or problems with something to do with the car. If it's only going to be $1,000 car or $1,200, $1,400 or something. Like, if I'm going to get a car, then it's going to be $5,000 to $10,000. And it will take me forever to save up to get a car like that. And I mean, my best bet is to maybe buy a used car on the side of the road from like someone else, like a grandma or someone who just barely used their car and is selling it. And you know, if I'm going to get a car, I want a small car, like a Mini Cooper or the size of a Mini Cooper. If I'm going to have a car, I need it to be small. I want it to be small. And of course, I want it to be automatic too, because I have no idea how to drive a manual and I've never had any experience with even driving a manual. I've only ever been used to driving an automatic. And, you know, I'm not really that picky with like what kind of car I get or what brand it is, just as long as it's an automatic and not a manual, as long as it's like a Mini Cooper or the size of a Mini Cooper, and as long as it's like $5,000 to $10,000 or something like that, and doesn't have that many miles racked up on it, and a car that would have actually been taken good care of by its previous owner. If I'm going to buy a car from obviously someone on like the side of the road or whatever, I want it to be like in good condition, even if it's going to be used. What my hope is to find a barely used car that's still like, I don't know, $5,000 or something, and very small and automatic and doesn't have that much miles racked up on it. That's my hope. That's what I want to find. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't know, like, but the truth is that either way, at the end of the day, I'm not that good of a driver. But obviously, with more experience and more practice, I'm only going to get better, because practice makes perfect. So all I really need to do is keep on practicing and keep on like doing as much driving as I possibly can and see if I improve. And I most likely will, but we'll see. I just, you know, a part of me is kind of mad because I still don't have my driver's license. I mean, at the age of 25 years old, it's like, damn. I still don't have my license yet. I still don't have my own vehicle. And it's like, I'm just going nowhere in life. And I just feel, you know, I feel guilty. I feel embarrassed. I feel humiliated. I just feel crushed that I don't have these little things in my life like completed or finished yet, or like taken care of, or like under control or whatever. I just, I don't know. I don't know what else to say, but that's pretty much all I wanted to say in today's video. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. I'm out.